So, I'm going to be doing a bracket breakdown of the first round of the WNIT here. I'm redoing the first round games now, and then I'm going to be doing on the 23rd. When the second games are all officially announced or selected on the 22nd. When they're done, all done. And then the third and the second one can officially, start. I'm doing that because they spread over 3 days, so it's not like WNIT where 1 day. They're all 1 day, they're spread out over 3, but they're all mainly all in 1 day. But I'm just gonna do all the round at once and just do most of the teams, and then do some games, and then do a few games later. No, I'm gonna do them all at once. So we have Air Force at Utah Valley. This is on the Friday at 8:30 Eastern at the Air Force Academy. And this is an interesting matchup because you have Air Force, a team that was really good in non-conference. They had a little bit of a struggle in conference play. The Air Force Academy did. And so I'm interested to see how Air Force can do in another non-conference game, but it being a postseason tournament, where you're one and done, where if you lose, you're out, your season's over. And if you win, you're still playing another day, and you're still practicing and playing for another few days, staying your season by a few more days. In Utah Valley, I like Utah Valley. I don't know. I like both teams in that matchup. It's not a super far travel for Utah Valley, though. I mean, traveling to Colorado, it's not super far. Colorado Springs, I believe. It's not super far, though. I mean, for Utah Valley, it's not. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where, like, travel is not going to be a huge issue. I mean, it's still going to put a little bit, maybe, on Utah Valley, but it's not very, like, STS in the travel. But, I don't know. I don't know. Air Force has been struggling in the non-conference, or in the conference play. Well, they did really well in their non-conference. So I wonder if they can bounce back. Now that they're in non-conference play, maybe actually get some wins, keep getting some. Actually, may start to do better. I don't know. It's one of those things where you just struggle in non-conference, or is one of those things like they had like an injury or they had something that hurt them. I don't want like some key, like there are a couple other key players. A key player too. I don't know. I'm gonna say like Utah Valley a little better, just because the Air Force has been struggling. Pacific and New Mexico State. Pacific is under 500. Mexico's 15-18, while New Mexico State is 17-15. The winner play is North Dakota State, and I like New Mexico State. And I know these matchups seem kind of regionalized somewhat, like in like Midwest or like Northeast or like the central regions, or somewhat regional, somewhat like a big region. What I like early on, but anyway, I like New Mexico State here. I think New Mexico State's got like a good solid shot. New Mexico State does have a player that could be maybe get like looks, could get like training camp looks, right? Like a third, maybe like one of those like third round draft picks or like a training camp look. And so maybe you can, so that always an advantage when you got like a high level player in your team. So give me a New Mexico State just because of that. And Pacific 15, they seem kind of like limping in. I mean, they're one of those teams that I think could make that that like that fresh start. Sometimes you always say that cliche. You're always everyone's 0-0. A fresh start for everyone, which it is. Some of these teams, you can get like looks, teams that I mean, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, just give me New Mexico State though. UT Arlington, UIW Incorrect word. UT Arlington finished near the top of the WAC. Grand Canyon was like really solid. No WAC, and then UT Arlington was like below them by a little bit. Those Grand Canyon was like really solid compared to the rest of the WAC. I mean, UIW. I don't know. These are two teams from like big major conferences like UAW's from the Southland. That that like UAW is not near the bottom of the Southland, but they're not. They got the top of the Southland. They're kind of in the middle of the Southland. Arlington is like I believe they're like 10-6 in this WAC, second in the WAC, or even third in the WAC. But I don't know. I like UT. I think UTA wins. Texas Arlington wins. And I think Texas Arlington wins. Just because of the fact that they are at home. If this game was a UIW home game, I think UIW win. I think just not having to travel in this matchup might make the advantage because both teams, I don't know. I don't know too much about both teams, but it seems kind of even to me. Chattanooga and Alabama A&M. Now we have Chattanooga is the SoCon runner-up from the tournament, from the Southern Conference runner-up in their conference tournament, and then they also did finish second in the SoCon in the conference regular season. Alabama A&M finished third in the SWAC in a very competitive, top-heavy SWAC league. They finished third. They were like right behind Texas Southern, who Texas Southern got the automatic qualifier into the WNIT. They took it off for a SWAC conference. They took it, and because you're not guaranteed that large if you know what I mean. And if you know what I mean, SWAC is not guaranteed another team. So you guys will take it, especially to represent HBCU basketball. Represent maybe I like that the WNIT this year. They don't have a lot of the mid-major or the power conferences. They have a few, like they have Big East, which is power conference in basketball. They have Big Ten, which is a power conference, and especially in basketball is like the main sports like basketball, football are really where they're considered like a power conference. Like all the other sports, pretty much. I mean, they're not really power conference. There's like volleyball. I guess there are power conferences. There are power conference, but you could see. But like, you got like lacrosse, softball, baseball, like gymnastics. Like there's really no power conferences. I mean, there might be conferences where there's a bunch of top teams. They're not but they're not like power conferences. Like you know what I mean. Mm. But Alabama is third in the SWAC. Finished third in the SWAC regular season. They got set by Alabama A&M though or Alabama A&M did get upset by Alcorn State in the 6th seed in the SWAC quarterfinals of Western play quarterfinals. I think Alabama. I don't know. I mean, I like Chattanooga. They hung tough with UNC Greensboro in that final, and they hung tough. They are a tough team that doesn't go away. And same with Alabama A&M. Alabama A&M though, just happened to just get upset though in the conference tournament. Just those things just happen somehow. They happen to get upset. Something that maybe you weren't expecting. But I like that. I don't know. I like both teams on this matchup. I really don't see a lot of the SWAC, but from what I see in them, in Alabama and I mean, I don't like Alabama and, but that's kind of a toss-up 50-50 though. I'm not really gonna say because I think both could win that one honestly. Abilene Christian, we got another whack at Southland game. Abilene Christian out of the whack. Took out Northwestern State out of the Southland. Again, two teams from mid-major conferences were, they're both pretty, where the top was pretty solid, and they were ahead of, behind the top by a lot. They were not Christian near the middle of the pack. Same with Northwestern State, they're both in the middle of the pack. In their conferences, they're not in the bottom tier, but they're on the top tier. I like Abilene Christian. I don't know. Again. Yeah, I mean. I think the Southland though is a lot more competitive though. They're closer to each other than the WAC is. Maybe between the top teams. But I like the South, so I don't know. Maybe the Southland that one. That's cool. That's gonna be a tough though matchup, I think. Then we have Western Illinois in Lipscomb. Now Western Illinois hosts in that one. And Lipscomb is out of the East, and Lipscomb, not a bad team. They made it to the ASUN semis. Lipscomb did. Lipscomb made it to the Atlantic Sun semifinals. But give me Lipscomb. I don't know. But Western Illinois though, they did upset in the OVC tournament though. Lately, their last results may have a big impact though. And then they made upset bid I believe it was to the semis. I know it was. I believe it was. So I believe so. So give me. I like Western. I like. The winner plays Illinois State. I like. I do like Lipscomb though. You know. I feel like Western Illinois, because they're at home and they got the home court advantage, and having to travel as far. I like Western Illinois, and I also like that the recent success showed that they had good success making to like the semis of the Ohio Valley Conference. I believe it was semis of the Ohio Valley Conference. Right. Lipscomb, I like Lipscomb making it. You know, they won their first game, their quarterfinal, and then went to the semis of the ASUN. So I don't know. I want to say Lipscomb, but I can't bet against Western Illinois though because it can be a team that can upset someone. Could go on a little bit of a run here in the tournament, and upset some teams. But then again, that ASUN conference match would be intriguing though in the Super 16 between Central Arkansas and Lipscomb. That would be very interesting to see that that um, game in the round of in the Super 16 and ASUN conference match. Those two teams playing another ASUN. I mean, technically, it's not like a conference game. Technically, it doesn't count on like conference record because it is postseason. So it'll just go on as like home and away technically. But that's kind of interesting, because that would be kind of an intriguing matchup because those two teams played during the regular season. So it'll be interesting to see who plays, them to play again in the Super 16 of the WNIT. Even more stakes than in the Ace and regular season. So. And then and especially this is even high, this is like the most stakes because when you're in, it would be I don't know, that would be an intriguing matchup, but I like, I feel like this is a match where no matter who I pick, you're gonna be wrong but I guess they give me I like Western. I'll say Western just because they did upset in the court in their tournament lately, and they ended up making it farther than expected. So give me Western. I really like Lipscomb in that match as well. I think that could be a tough one, where either team can win that one conference show or non-conference show in the WNIT. Lindenwood out of the Ohio Valley Conference and Tulsa out of the American. Now Lindenwood's a really good team. They made it. They had a tough non-conference, made it to second in the finals in the Ohio Valley Conference. And then Tulsa is out of the American Conference, and they were a little disappointed in their conference tournament, not getting the result that they wanted. Tulsa did not make. Tulsa made it to the quarterfinals in the American tournament. Tulsa did not make it to the semis. It was Rice and Temple, and then it was South Florida and North Texas. So I mean Tulsa. I feel like Tulsa has a chip on their shoulder, to prove that they should have been farther in the conference tournament. And Lindenwood is a team that had a tough non-conference for them. And then they had a really good conference play slate. They just lost to the champion Tennessee Tech in the finals, in the championship. So give me, I say give me, I don't know. Just because Tulsa or Lindenwood struggled in conference play, or non-conference a little bit, I should say, earlier in the regular season, I like Tulsa because of that. Both teams are so teams, but I feel like Lindenwood had a lot of their success in conference play. Maybe that translates to these non-conference, because it doesn't matter who you play, if you can win games and play solid. That confidence that you get, can always, that moment. If you're confident, feel like you can beat anyone on any given day, that can ride with you. Lindenwood has a ball of that. But I like Tulsa. Give me Tulsa though. Texas Southern and St. Mary's. Now Texas Southern is a really solid team in the conference play. Non-conference they struggled. Non-conference they were under 5, like really poor. I like this matchup with St. Mary's though. It's a team that's under 500. A team that wasn't the greatest in conference play, but wasn't like the worst, and wasn't like horrible in conference play, but they weren't in non-conference, but they weren't like great either. Like outstanding, Texas Southern was good in conference, but not so great in non-conference. But I like actually Texas Southern for that one. Because Texas Southern, for one, they don't have to travel to California. They actually get to come to Texas, which is a little bit of a drive, or a flight, and I like that. I like that, and with some of these teams, I feel like Texas Southern, one of those teams that might be able to actually. Sometimes you see in these smaller tournaments, they're talking about who actually has the will. Your goal. My goal was to play in the NCAA tournament. However, you ended up losing in the conference tournament, so you're able to make that happen. And it doesn't matter if it's the men's side, women's side, men's side. All these postseason tournaments that aren't the NCAA tournament are able to actually have a coach that can be say hey, sometimes you need that coach. You might need that, hey, we're playing games, but it's on the NCAA tournament. It's not the tournament we want it to be in, but we'll take it. We can extend our season. We'll be able to play some more basketball. Some players might like that. Being able to be with their teammates. They like their coaches and their teammates and stuff, being able to be around them for a little bit longer. For at least a few more days playing the game, and then some and then it just depends. And some, they do like playing with them. And then there's some teams or players, that I'm playing in the game, but it's in a postseason tournament, but it's not in the NCAA tournament. So it's is it really that big of a deal? You might not get up for it. But I think Texas Southern is one of those teams that will, because they'll be we lost in the SWAC semis, we lost to Alcorn State. We can show why we can prove why that loss was just a fluke. That loss was just a fluke loss to Alcorn State. We can show that we actually belong in the NCAA tournament. And the winner will play Louisiana Tech in the second round. Buffalo plays the winner of University of Massachusetts Stonehill. Now Stonehill is a second place team in the Northeast Conference. UMass was a little further down than the elect 10. Stone's problem. I mean, they lost a few more games other than just to Fairleigh Dickinson, but they did. But they lost the top of the conference 3 times, and so I do like Stonehill though. I really do like Stonehill though. Stonehill they weren't like amazing in that conference. They were like horrible. I mean, both those teams can have like tougher non-conferences. Their conference play was decent. I like I don't know. I think the elect 10 though, it's a deeper conference though. For women's basketball than the NEC, the Northeast Conference is the NEC. So I'm gonna say because the elect 10 is deeper and you play more tougher teams in the majors every day. Give me UMass. I think UMass has the edge because of that. Well, I mean, not to say that the AAC isn't competitive. I mean, there's the elect 10 is more teams that got in postseason tournaments like the NCAA. There's Richmond and George Mason. And then you had St. Joseph's, like the WBIT. So you have Duquesne. Also making it, you have some other teams making postseason tournament, WNIT. So I'm gonna say UMass. Coastal Carolina, Campbell. Now, I haven't been able to really watch Campbell because I don't have Flow Hoops or Flow College or ever to watch the Coastal Athletic Association. But I haven't been really able to watch that. But in their championship though, game against William Mary that they lost. They were up, but they can give. They can. Those leads. They can give up some leads. Coastal Carolina played in a good conference. I like they had top contenders like Troy, like Arkansas State, like James, Mass. They've had some really tough teams, and then they play Southern Indiana winners. I must do too much like Campbell, so I'm not familiar with Campbell, just because of that. But I'll say give me Coastal Carolina just because I'm more familiar with them. But I do. But I mean, Campbell could surprise me though. It may be my second time seeing Campbell play, other than maybe I seen them play in non-conference, but I was more focused on volleyball than in the non-conference. Maybe I seen them once in non-conference, the ESPN Plus game, in like a tournament or like on the road or something. In like a traditional home and away non-conference game. Give me Coastal Carolina, and it's at home. Army West Bryant and Army West Point. The winner plays Rutgers. Now, I like Army West Point though. Army West Point is a solid team. One of the top teams out of the Patriot League. Patriot League, that was pretty solid though this year. They were a pretty solid Patriot League team. Bryant though wasn't at the top of the America East though. I mean, they were behind like Vermont, Albany, and they were. They did end up hosting a quarterfinal game, but they weren't able to host the semifinal, and they ended up losing in the semis. For Bryant, but Army did make it to the finals for the Patriot. I like Army though. Some people might yeah, because there's sometimes a bias. Like people, like they like the service academy schools, like like Air Force, like Army, like Navy. They like those schools more, just because they're like military academies. And it's always kind of those things like even like as a neutral fan, like of the like you can all like when Army is playing the game or Navy or like Air Force or playing the game, you know, seems like you can always root for one. You can always root for them, and like people that are in like the Army or the Navy or like the Air Force or other service academy schools, unless they're playing each other, they root for the other service academies to do well. And it seems like one of those schools where, you know what I mean? Just true. I actually do really like Army, They're actually style of play, though. I'm not just saying that, Bryant, um, the thing about Bryant, though, is the guy, Allie Brigham, who used to play at Penn State, now transferred to Bryant to play, either for just transfer, or for basketball reasons, or just because maybe I know some players transfer for academic reasons. It's not always for like basketball playing reasons. Sometimes you do train for sometimes it is for um like academic related reasons. Sometimes you do have that. But I think I don't know though. There I might have to contend with her size down in the paint and in the post. I like or I like if they can use her size, I bring him size as well, and actually score on double figure. I mean, the problem though is it might not be the most athletic like big, but it is tall, big, and you can use that to your advantage. Right, Ken? Army. I like Army though. Hmm. I'm gonna say I like Army. Give me Army. Now we got Howard and Sienna battling out in and Howard is in the MIAC and Sienna is on the metric of the conference. Sienna had a good finish in the Metro because like almost they finished third place. However, they fell to Merrimack in the quarters. They got upset by Merrimack. And I don't know, we'll see and be able to bounce back though from that tough loss to Merrimack in the Metro Athletic Conference quarters. Howard though had a little bit of an easier time making it to the MEAC final. They lost to Norfolk. Norfolk is just the top of the MEAC. Fisher Diamond Johnson transferring in. She used to play at like NC State, I believe. I'm not sure. I don't remember why she transferred. There was like maybe like athletic academic reasons. I don't think it was for like the basketball though, because she was at NC State though. I like. See, this is a game I feel like Howard could win. I also feel like Siena could win. Give me. I'm just gonna say, give me. Give me Siena. Duquesne and Longwood. Duquesne, the winner plays. Well, the winner of Howard Senior plays the College of Charleston, the Coastal Athletics Association. The winner of Duquesne Longwood plays Miami Ohio, the Mid American Conference, the MAC. I like in that matchup the Duquesne Longwood. Longwood is not bad out of the Big South, but just the Elite 10 though is deeper team conference. So I like that Duquesne, over Longwood, because Duquesne had tougher matchups in the Elite 10, being deeper in the Elite 10 than higher in the Big South in regular season. In regular season, placement. Actually, I'd rather, so give me Duquesne and Longwood. Give me Duquesne. Colgate and Coppin State. Colgate's hosting Coppin State. They play Cleveland State in the second round. I like Colgate in this matchup, and I'll tell you why. Coppin State in the MEAC, they finished third in the MEAC conference. And, they are not bad, per se, but they weren't, like Howard was 2 games behind Norfolk. And I don't even think Coppin got to double digits in wins. Maybe they did, but they lost to Howard. They lost to both Howard and Norfolk. And then they were, I don't even believe they were double digits in conference wins. So, well, Colgate was double digits in conference wins. There were a bunch of teams with double digits in conference wins. There were 6 with double digits in conference wins, and Colgate was one of them. Although Colgate did get upset by Bucknell in the quarters. And then you also had Navy get upset by a Holy Cross in the quarters when Navy was host. But I like Colgate. Give me Colgate in that one. I like Colgate in that one. 1, they're at home. And 2, I don't know. I just like Colgate. Seems like they're a little better than. That time off, I think, might have helped them. Sometimes it might help them. Give them a little bit of advantage. Give them a little bit of rest off, and then be like, maybe a little rest, and then cut and see what's. And then, but Colgate might be a little rusty though. But I think Colgate can play a solid game. I like Colgate. Give me Colgate. I like Colgate over Coppin though, because Colgate they were playing a solid Patriot League. It was really, especially the top 6 were double-digit wins, and they were like really solid. All like really solid, all beating up each other, and it was very competitively. Well, Coppin, some of those teams in the bottom, they were able to kind of beat up, not like literally, have a bigger advantage in like the conference play. But then some of them, they were, they had an advantage of them, so it's like, but I like Colgate and Old Dominion and Navy. Now Navy did get upset by Holy Cross in the first round, in the quarterfinals of the Patriot League tournament, and then they play Old Dominion. Old Dominion out of the Sun, but Old Dominion, that was an interesting team, though. Navy. They're kind of in like the same tier. I would say Old Dominion and Navy are. But I don't know. I like. Hmm, Sometimes you like the home team just because they're at home, and you think maybe if it's the other way around, the other team had to travel, and they like traveling like used up their legs. Especially Navy, they have to travel a little bit of ways to Old Dominion. Give me Old Dominion. Um, I like Old Dominion just because they're at home. If this was at Navy, I might say give me Navy. Then I see the Flames. They are 14-17. They're taking the Alabama Birmingham Blazers. And 16-15. Alabama Birmingham did make it to the quarters of the tournament, the American. Well, USC, yeah, they struggled in in conference a little bit. I mean, they weren't like right at the bottom, but they weren't near the top as well of the conference. You know, they weren't like in like the Indiana State range or like the teams that were like really at the bottom, like them, but they weren't like in like the top part of the league. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is kind of all the stuff went through it. Even like Chicago, can they like just is it one of those seasons where like 14-17, or can they forget about the struggles they've had in in this season, like 14-17, like only being 14-17, and actually be like, this is a fresh start, 0-0. We can have a fresh start. We can restart the season, and have a different outlook on the year, or is it play solidly, or is it one of those things like that? I don't know, because I mean they having a fresh start for them will be helpful. I think could be one of those things that are helpful for them, and like some of these, like especially, or they could be like, yeah, we like playing with our teammates and our coaches and all that stuff. We want to play more games, so we like that, and we can, our season didn't be the best, but we can, with a few wins, we can turn around a season. We can, with as long as we stack up some wins, and we can stack up some wins in the WNIT, turn around our season to a good successful season despite our record, So I think, and same with you, Abe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna say like Illinois, Chicago, just because they're at home, and UAB, Alabama. They have to travel a good bit of a ways too. Not like a long, long ways, but still pretty far. Pretty good travel. Pretty far travel. Yeah, but so give me Illinois, Chicago in that one. I like Illinois, Chicago in that one. Just because they don't have like the tired legs, maybe from traveling like airplane, or they could do like a flight though, pretty easy, like a commercial flight, even pretty easily, and like you got so I say give me Illinois, Chicago on that one, just because they don't have to travel, have like the tired legs from some like the from flying to Illinois, Chicago, and then Chicago, and then they have the fatigue on them from traveling, because you do sometimes get like travel fatigue. So I say Illinois, Chicago.